Hillary Clinton, hi. Has anybody told you are the super predator? Has anybody told you are the super predator? You're responsible for the deaths of millions.
All right, guys. So once again, we got to talk about my favorite topic, which is the civil war that is going on in the Democrat Party. Okay, the establishment Democrats versus the far leftists. Okay, the battle, the war that could tank Biden's chances of winning in 2024. And that war is continuing to escalate as the war between Israel and Hamas continues to escalate. It doesn't look like Benjamin Netanyahu is going to adhere to calls of ceasefire from the Biden administration and the Democrats as they continue to ratchet up the pressure on Netanyahu to issue a ceasefire so that Joe Biden can win in 2024, right? That is what they're doing. In fact, I think Nancy Pelosi has essentially come out and now stated that, hey, Biden should stop sending weapons to Israel if they do not come to the table for a ceasefire. Again, this is something that I've been watching really closely because I really do believe that this is the Achilles heel of the Democrat Party. This is going to be the issue that tanks Biden in the election if things don't turn around here soon. And events like this, stories like this, is exactly what I'm talking about, because Democrats, everywhere they go, they are getting heckled by the pro-Palestine protesters. And this time we got to talk about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton as well, too, who are leaving a fundraiser in New York. And they were heckled by pro-Palestinian protesters to their faces. And they were called super predators and all types of stuff that I'm pretty sure they didn't like. Take a look.
Hillary Clinton, hi. Has anybody told you are the super predator? Has anybody told you are the super predator? You're responsible for the deaths of millions. Bill Clinton, you're a genocide supporter. You piece of shit.
Clinton, you're responsible for genocide. You're responsible for atrocities. You're literally helping facilitate the genocide of Palestinian people. What the f you have to say for yourself? The f you have to say, Hillary?
Watch out.
We can see you sitting in your goddamn car on the Broadway show over Burlington. Excuse me. Hillary, I know you can hear me. You call yourself a feminist woman. I'm dying in Gaza. What am I dying? You have anything to say? You're a coward, Hillary.
Motherfucking Hillary Clinton!
Hey, Hillary!
Hillary died, Ryan Clinton! We f***ing see you, Hillary! You!
We can see you hiding in the back of your car, Hillary!
Stop calling fundraisers for genocide, you f***ing coward!
You're
How many people have died at your hands, you f***ing coward? You, Hillary!
Call you every night!
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? You love to see it, right? You love to see Democrats get a taste of their own medicine because they told us during the BLM riots that this is what is supposed to happen, right? That the woke activists are supposed to be able to make politicians and decision makers uncomfortable, okay? Because, hey, their voices need to be heard and Democrats are getting exactly what they asked for, right? They were totally fine with this when people like, for example, Rand Paul was getting harassed and heckled outside of the RNC during the BLM riots during the pandemic.
Justice! No justice! Wait a second, I know who that is. I know who that is. Say her name! Say her name! Say her name! Say her name! You gotta back up. Back up. This is
Fascism! This is what fascism looks like! This is what fascism looks like!
You're not gonna say her name, man.
Back up.
You're not gonna say you're not gonna say her name.
Back up.
You can't say Breonna's name, man. Come on now. You can't say Breonna's name. Breonna Taylor, man. Come on, you can't say her name. Ryan Paul won't even say her name. Ryan Paul won't even say her name. Ryan, you won't even say her name. It's in your state, and you won't even say her name. It's a sidewalk, boy. Ryan, why won't you say her name, man? Hey, this is a sidewalk. It's a sidewalk. It's a sidewalk. Oh, great. You gotta say Breonna's name.
Yeah, so don't you love how the tables turn? Okay, how Democrats get exactly what they wanted, right? So again, when this was happening to Republicans, it was all fine and good, okay? Now it's happening to Democrats, and they have to stomach it. They have to deal with it because this is what they started. They said that this stuff is okay, and now they're getting a taste of their own medicine from the same people that was doing this to Republicans, right? The monster that they created has now turned on them, right? And it seems as if, again, there are dire consequences for them in this election. It's just funny how history works. It's like I tell you guys all the time about politics. The pendulum always swings the other way. That's why you have to be careful what you ask for in politics, because it can turn back around and negatively affect you. That's what you're seeing right now with these woke activists. They've turned on the Democrats, right? And they were the key to Democrats winning in 2020, and it looks like they're going to be the key to Democrats losing in 2024. It's just funny how that works. As you have the squad on the verge of collapse, right? The squad is on the verge of collapse because you're about to have at least a couple of them lose their seats. And it looks like if the election was held today, there would be 2 less members of the squad, because just like the pro-Palestine activists are trying to essentially get what they want in regards to getting Joe Biden up out of office, you have the pro-Israel activists that are trying to get some Democrats out of office that aren't pro-Israel enough. Or put it this way, they are anti-Israel. Like, for example, again, Jamal Bowman, okay, as he is facing a pro-Israel challenger, and he is getting absolutely destroyed, right? He is getting destroyed in a new poll. So let's read here. Westchester County Executive George Latimer is leading Democrat Representative Jamal Bowman by 17 points just 2 months out from the primary for New York 16th Congressional District, a Thursday poll found. Again, so we're talking about 2 months. In 2 months, we could find out that Jamal Bowman is going to lose his seat. Now, he shouldn't even have a seat because he should have been expelled from Congress after pulling the fire alarm and then lied about it, right? I mean, the Republicans, because they're so damn weak, they decided not to expel Jamal Bowman, even though I would argue that according to Democrats' definition and the precedent they set, that he committed an act of insurrection, right? He tried to disrupt an official proceeding by doing that, okay? And again, because Republicans are weak, they decided to just, I think they did a censure, that's it. I think that's all they did to him, right? So they basically did nothing. They gave him a slap on the wrist. They said, hey, don't do that again, right? They sent him a strongly worded letter, which is the specialty of the GOP, right? Strongly worded letters are about as much as the GOP is good for nowadays, right? Unfortunately. But hey, everything seems to work itself out in the end, or it seems like it's going to. Latimer is a pro-Israel Democratic challenger to the squad member who has been critical of the U.S. allies' efforts in Gaza following the October 7th Hamas terrorist attack that left roughly 1,200 dead. The county executive led Bowman 52-35 for a June 25th matchup, with 13% of Democrat primary voters remaining undecided, according to the Mailman Group Democratic Majority for Israel PAC survey. Okay, so this is a survey that is pro-Israel, so I mean, I guess you only can take it with a grain of salt, but still, right? I mean, these are not good results, right? It's really not. Quote, to put it plainly, Congressman Bowman's constituents are very unhappy with him, but very impressed with County Executive Latimer. The combination of Latimer's sterling image and voters' distinctly negative assessments of Bowman may cost the incumbent congressman his seat. Bowman's constituents are even divided on whether he even cares about them, but the vast majority believe Latimer meets that central test. DMFI PAC Chairman Mark Melman said in a statement, "It's simple. George Latimer is highly regarded while Jamal Bowman is widely unpopular." I mean, well, again, he supports a lot of the policies of the Democrats that has destroyed this country, so I get it. I mean, all these people, their districts aren't in good shape. They're in bad shape. If AOC's district had any common sense, okay, if they had any decency, they would remove AOC as well too, right? I mean, she's up for re-election as well. The poll also found a significant discrepancy between how the Democratic primary voters view the contender's job performance, as 68% held positive opinions about Latimer's job performance compared to only 36% who said the same of Bowman's. Additionally, 59% of the respondents approve of President Joe Biden's handling of the war in Gaza, and 62% want the U.S. to support Israel, according to the survey. Yeah, so this seems like a very kind of pro-Israel district, right? And this guy is definitely on the wrong side of that issue for his district. And it seems like that's ultimately going to cost him his job, okay? And in a couple months, Jamal Bowman can basically be out of a job, right? Which would be hilarious, right? It really would be, okay? So with that being said, he's not the only squad member on the verge of losing their job. You also have Cory Bush, who I believe is under investigation by the DOJ for mishandling campaign funds, okay? Funneling campaign funds to her security guard, now husband, right? She's losing by 22 points in a new primary poll as well. Squad member and U.S. Representative Cory Bush could lose big in this summer's Democratic primary, according to a new poll. A new poll by GOP firm Remington Research finds Bush losing by 22 points to rival Wesley Bell in the August 6th contest. Quote, "It's a big red flag for far-left squad lawmakers," Josh Croscher, editor-in-chief of Jewish Insider, posted on X. Quote, "This data is yet another example of why pandering to the left-wing radicalism on Israel in the Democrat Party is a counterproductive strategy for Biden." Yeah, again, this is a bad situation for Democrats to be in, right? Because, you know, whichever side of the issue they're on, they're going to get screwed, right? This is what happens when you build a victimhood coalition, right? Of a bunch of people who really should not have too much in common, right? But the Democrats all say that, well, you're oppressed, so therefore you should vote for us, okay? And we're going to take down the oppressor, aka the white man, right? And it seems as if, you know, when their interests are not aligned, you get what is happening to the Democrats right now. The victimhood coalition is falling apart. If Democrats are pro-Israel, then the anti-Israel Democrat Party, right, the far leftists, they abandon Democrats. If Democrats are pro Palestine, or, they align with the far left, then they're going to lose their support from people that are pro-Israel, right? Which is a big part of their funding, is a big part of funding for both parties. And it's just a no-win situation, to be quite honest with you. Could happen to a better group of people, honestly. While the poll was a small sample size of just 401 voters, the results are stark. In the survey conducted last week, 50% of those polled said they were in favor of Bell, a former prosecutor, with just 28% saying yes to Bush. The margin of error was 4.9%. Yeah, so this is way outside of the margin of error. I mean, this is almost certainly accurate, okay? That, she's in big trouble, right? She's in huge trouble, okay? Bush has been one of the sharpest critics of the Israeli government in Congress and a vocal advocate for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. Yeah, so, again, it looks like the squad is on the verge of collapse, right? Hillary's getting heckled and called a super predator to her face. The far leftists are showing up at Biden, Obama fundraisers, and, they are staging protests against Biden, okay? They're crashing the party. I love it, right? I love what's happening right now to the Democrat Party. The victimhood coalition has backfired against them, okay? They built a whole group of people to come together against the white man, even though they have nothing in common. And now it's falling apart because their interests are clearly not aligned, right? And now Democrats are suffering the consequences of something that they built over the past few years, okay? Really starting with the whole George Floyd stuff, letting the world know that, hey, this is okay. This is exactly what's acceptable in our politics. This type of, political violence, these types of political protests that seem to be very commonplace coming from the left. Democrats said it was totally fine when it worked in their favor against Republicans. Now that it's been turned on them, we see that all of that is backfiring, right? That they're suffering the consequences of a monster that they created. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.